A South African veteran has called on President Jacob Zuma to resign following a scandal over improper spending at his private home. Ahmed Kathrada, who was jailed alongside Nelson Mandela, said that Mr Zuma's resignation would end a crisis of confidence in the government. Mr Zuma said on Friday he would repay the money but would remain in his post. He has faced widespread calls for his resignation from South Africa's opposition. South Africa's highest court ruled that Mr Zuma had failed to uphold the constitution by ignoring instructions to repay some of the $16 million in state funds spent on renovations at his private residence. In a televised address on Friday, Mr Zuma made no reference to the calls for his resignation. The leadership of Mr Zuma's party, the African National Congress, said it was united behind its leader, but the intervention of 86-year-old Mr Kathrada, a party veteran, may carry weight. Along with Mr Mandela, Mr Kathrada was among 8 ANC activists sentenced to life imprisonment after being convicted of trying to overthrow the apartheid government during the 1963–1964 Rivonia trial. In an open letter published in South African media, Mr Kathrada said, "In the face of such persistently widespread criticism, condemnation, and demand, is it asking too much to express the hope that you will choose the correct way that is gaining momentum, to consider stepping down? I know that if I were in the president's shoes, I would step down with immediate effect." The scandal is arguably the biggest yet to hit Mr Zuma, who has fended off accusations of corruption and cronyism since before he took office in 2009. The Public Protector, an anti-corruption body, ruled in 2014 that $23 million of public money had been improperly spent on Mr Zuma's rural home in Ngandla in KwaZulu-Natal province, and ordered him to reimburse part of the expense. The president claimed he had acted in good faith and never knowingly and deliberately set out to violate the constitution. Any action that has been found not to be in keeping with the constitution happened because of a different approach and different legal advice, he said, before issuing an apology for the frustration caused. The case had been brought by two opposition parties, the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, and the Democratic Alliance, DI. They have launched impeachment proceedings against Mr Zuma, but these are unlikely to be successful because of the ANC's large majority in parliament.